All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to the hopeful lay brothers out there pushing this truth. Yeah, man, that time where E's about to change his face is coming, man, you know, as well as, you know, a Jake on social media, he posts this. Not really sure if he does the work, but hey, he did post this, and it was the truth. You know, you're gonna even have a lot of fake Israelites that's gonna turn their back on this truth and speak all types of naughtiness and evils against men of the Lord, man. Like they weren't out there saying that they believe, or on social media saying that they believe, you know. But that's why you got a lot of these guys saying, "Oh, I'm not with the camp." You know, really saying that they're not really with the teachings and they believe for self. And those usually be the types of guys, usually women, and soft-hearted men that'll say that E isn't the so-called white man, that if he is, we're supposed to love him, all types of madness, because they fear the judgment of E. You know, they fear the judgment of the unjust instead of the judgment of Yahweh Shai, Shai, man. Hey, because, hey, we haven't broken any of their laws by speaking these things, you know. Even within their laws, they say something called freedom of speech. So it doesn't matter what they would try to lock us up for, man. You know, not to mention all our things that we've spoken are true. You know, there are receipts to it. It's not that these are just accusations and lies and all the folly and BS that they push out in their society and nobody gets locked up for, you know. He's trying to come to us because of the truth, man. You know, primarily those little hats, because they're being found out to not be the people of the Lord, and that they've done nothing but rage war from nation to nation, you know, since they were able to come out of those caves, man. You know, since they were able to come into power and destroy nations, man. All right? The way that they've always destroyed nations is by the seat and the power of that pen, man. And also the edge of the sword. But, hey, the old saying goes that, hey, the pen is mightier than the sword because, hey, the sword can only put somebody down for so long, but that pen, it exacts unrighteous decrees for decades and centuries, man. By that pen, this man has declared that he's the people of the Lord by a Balfour declaration, man. But, you know, we're not going to get into that. That's a whole another story for a different time. You know, he's about to come raging great war, man. You know? Because he's being found out and his time is up. The Most High is coming for him. All right? You know? But I'm going to get it. You know? It's an account mentioned in the book of Esther. And a couple other accounts. But I'm going to get this one primarily because this is talking about the little hats. Who are the seed of Amalek. You know? And this is a little hat. You know? Before they were known as who they are today, they were the Agagites, you know, the seed of Amalek, which is the top tribe of Edom. All right, this is Esther 3:5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. You know, because these devils, they really want to be the pinnacle in society, and during this time, they were trying to take a kingdom from Elam. You know, they weren't even truly in power yet. They've been trying to do things like that, you know, since back in the day, where they'll sneak and put one nation against each other, and they're really just traitors to that nation, you know, and they're really trying to submit both of their foes, you know, which all nations are Esau's foes, so that they can be on top. You know, I believe it talks about that in the book of Sirach. Set him not by thee, lest he seek to overthrow thee. You know, and that was the case in this book right here with Haman or Aman. But it says in verse 6, it says, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, or, you know, aka Artaxerxes, I believe that is, even the people of Mordecai. You know, and that's not talking about the little hats. You know, the people of Mordecai are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, man. You know, it's not a bunch of people going around saying that, oh, everybody hates us for no reason. No, Everybody knows that you own everything. So all the disasters and the chaos that's going on in the world, they know that you're responsible for it, because you're sure as hell not doing anything to fix these things. All right. But this is verse 7. It says, in the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast which that's the cast lots. It says that is the lot before Haman from day to day and from month to month to the 12th month, that is the month of Dar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. You know, he was trying to say that they really trying to seek to overthrow thee. They're bringing heresy to your kingdom, and they're contradicting your kingdom. Basically, he was speaking of his own, man. You know what it says, when Satan speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. That's what this guy was doing. But it says, if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of business to bring it into the king's treasuries. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. So, hey, man, let it be known that these little hats, they are the Jew, they the true Jews' enemy, man. You know, they are the Yasharalah's enemy, man.
All these what?
Yeah, this is Exodus chapter 17, verse 13. It says, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, O Hawashai, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. You know, that's the plan, with the Most High plans to do with these devils, man. And hey, you can see why. It says, and Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nisai. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh has sworn that that the Lord Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So yeah, man, like I said, it's gonna start with the little hats, man. The Lord said he's gonna the least of the flock shall draw them out. So all this end of the world prophecy is gonna start, yeah, with the little hats. With those who call themselves Jewish, which, you know, the suffix ish means to be like, but not quite. All right. Yeah. Just get it right here. This is Acts chapter 24. I'm just starting verse 5. It says, for we have found this man, they're talking about Paul, a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and the ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. You know, because the Pharisees, they wanted to keep their status, man. You know, in their status, they were okay with being under Eve, as long as they, you know, got to do the things that they could do, rather than following Yahweh Shai or the men of the Lord. You know, likewise with these people, man. Now you got LeBron finally saying something about one of the Dallas Cowboy owners. You know, one of these NFL teams owners. You know, but he was quick to throw Kyrie Irving under the bus about you know, the whole Hebrews to Negroes thing. You know, rather than saying that, hey, yeah, some of this research isn't true, but the fact that we are Israelites, this is true. He just said the whole thing was BS, man. But it says, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world. Right, they like to say that we're stirring up hate, we're bringing back hate, which really we're not. We're not telling people to go out there, and in fact, that's actually against what we believe. We're not telling people to go out there and to be physical with these people, but to come into the spirit of Yahweh Shai, that he's about to come and rise up against our enemies, you know, and that we ought to call on him. Which, hey, how is it a threat to your society if the majority of your society doesn't even believe in God? All right. It's because you know that these things are true, man. It says even the devils believe and tremble. It has nothing to do with taking a heritage that you know isn't yours. It's so many receipts and proof that it's not. All right. And it says, and the ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. Well, they were trying to say that he was someone who was basically a zealot. It says, who also hath gone about to profane the temple, whom we took and would have judged according to our law. But the chief captain, Lysias, came upon us, and with great violence took him away out of our hands, commanding his accusers to come unto thee, by examining of whom thyself mayest take knowledge of all these things, whereof we accuse him. And the Jews also assented, saying that these things were so. So they had the accusers, and then they had a group of other lying-ass niggas that wanted to, basically be the jury to support these facts. Well, to support these false facts, all right, these accusations. It says, then Paul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do thee more cheerfully answer for myself, because that thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship. And they neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues, nor in the city. Which, hey, man, we haven't been doing these things, man. We haven't been with IUIC, man. They're marching. Hey, that's not going off. It's like it's not wicked according to Esau's laws, but hey, it does make us look militant. And the Lord didn't require us to do that. He didn't say go out there and look like a bunch of Esau zombies wearing the same color, like you about to come and take over with a bunch of sticks. The Lord didn't say do that. He said it pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching. All right, that's what we're supposed to go out there and do. Learn this and teach it. All right, because they're already going to try to demonize us and make it seem like we're something that we're not. Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me. But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all the things which are written in the law and in the prophets, which that's all we believe. That if we continue in these things, we might be saved. And that our Lord, he died 2,000 some odd years ago to redeem our nation back. And now he's going to come and physically reap the tokens of that act of him following the Most High until death and being resurrected. Now he's coming back to establish his kingdom. That's what we believe. All right, and we will be partakers if we keep his promise, man. If we keep the words of his promise, that way we have nothing to fear. You can bring up all types of accusations against us, but we know that we haven't done anything wrong. It says, and have hope toward the Most High, which they themselves also allow. There shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust. And herein do I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense toward the Most High and toward men, which that's what we have. Because we've been following the Lord. The Lord didn't say do anything else but follow him. We know that the Most High said that he's going to take down Esau, the so-called white man. How are we wrong for saying that? That you don't want to hear about judgment? Hey, well, that's too bad. Because even within your laws, it doesn't say that we can't speak these things. You messed up when you said the freedom of speech, man. Just by bringing out that notion, the freedom of speech, you have condemned yourself. But this is Acts chapter 25, verse 7. And it says, and when he was come, the Jews which came down from Jerusalem stood round about and laid many and grievous complaints against Paul, which they could not prove. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to prove these things because we haven't been doing those things. All right? It's Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. It says, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So us never leaving the Lord by doing such things, we haven't left the Lord and going out to establish our own way. He's not going to leave us. It says, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. So Yahweh Shai has us at the end of the day. We are in his hands. As a matter of fact, since I said that, I'm gonna end it off with this Sirach, the 2nd chapter. This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 16. It says, "They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law." You know, which it says every word out of the Most High's mouth, that is the law. You know, to keep his ways. You know, this says that this is a lamp and a way of life. All right, and it says, "And they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in His sight." Meaning, we're preparing our minds for what's to come. We understand that the Most High is going to defend us. We understand that the devil is going to be the devil and try to condemn us. But it won't work. At the end of the day, we're still going to be on top. For, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Saying we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. Because truly, although, he's going to be the one that's going to scourge and try to scourge us, it's really going to be the Most High that's judging us to see if we are worthy of him, man. To see if we're going to fold. It's really the hands of the Most High that's doing this. It says, "For as his majesty is, so is his mercy." But at the end of the day, if we've been doing what we're supposed to do, it's going to be merciful. For none of those things which the devil shall bring against thee, man. All right? Because it says, the Lord that brought these plagues upon thee, the Most High, shall bring thee everlasting salvation. So we know when that persecution comes, that salvation is near at the door, man. So rejoice. But I'm going to end this lesson off and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, Shalom, and Abba Ball.